What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? It is your girl Nick and Pat
It's your,
on.
it's your boy P in the house. Y'all got to excuse me. I'm in my thing doing my thing.
What's up, Tay? So I don't know about y'all, but it's been a very interesting week. So I
It
hope
has, hasn't
it's
it? It's been crazy.
been crazy. It's been crazy, and I know life be lifing for everybody. Um, I'm no different. Pat's no different. Tay no different. Life is lifing for real. Um, but I'm hoping everybody has had a great week, and I'm hoping that you guys have been putting some thought into your relationships and what your journey looks like.
Come on.
I've been having some very interesting conversations this week, and
You
uh,
too?
yeah, and it is so crazy to me. Some of the things that have been stated. Um, so I had I convoed with Pat earlier this week about some things that have been weighing on my mind because of these conversations that I've had this week.
Uh-huh.
Um, so we'll jump into a little bit of everything, but and the other thing is I have just really been all over the place with this whole Marshawn Nealon. Um,
Yeah, that got me tore up. Yeah, that got me
y'all
tore up.
know my own personal battle with suicide and depression and I am going to go live probably tomorrow. Um, but y'all check on your people. And please understand that when people go through traumatic losses of their parents, mother, daddy, child, um, when people lose people, um, that has the ability to take you out. It's not easy to come back from grief. So please, please, please be mindful. Um, please be mindful that everybody doesn't handle grief in the same way. Um, it does not happen in the same way for everybody, and
Yeah.
grief comes and goes, it ebbs and flows. Your ability to deal with it, you some people deal with it head on, some people take a more passive approach. There is no wrong way to deal with grief. But when grief and depression and sadness and pain take over, um, people do feel like the only option is for them to exit. I'm reminded of DJ Twitch. I'm reminded of Miss Chelsea. I'm reminded of Regina King's son. Um, I think it was Regina King. Um, but y'all, suicide used to be something that we didn't really deal with, but now in our communities, it is becoming very, 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 very prevalent. So please, please, please do not be afraid to have ask for help. It is okay not to be okay. Um, Pat, anything you want to say about that?
Just one of the most like stop telling people I know how you feel. You don't. That's one of the craziest things to me that when people are going through oh man, I know how you feel. No, you really don't. I have learned that people's relationships with their parents, believe it or not, y'all, there could be levels to this. There are people that really have had to do shadow work because there's a lot of people who had hatred for their parents. Some of us really don't even know the childhoods of many people and what they've had to go through everybody didn't have the nurturing mom and the loving dad. I always tell people that when it comes to parenting, that mothers are for rearing and fathers are for routing. And many of us didn't have those relationships, even though sometimes they were present. They may have been present, but not necessarily available. So the best thing that you can do is you can support people as they're getting the help that they need. But to say that you know how they feel or you know what they're going through, we really don't. We really don't.
So with that being said, we're gonna jump into this relationship stuff because it's all relational.
Let's
Pat,
do it.
biggest takeaway from last week that will prepare us for what we talk about today.
I think that you just said it. Just said it best. That one common thread through everything that we experience at the end of the day is relationships. One of the things that you and I spoke about this week as we were reflecting is that there are levels to relationships. And I think that we get stuck on the most, when we say levels, this is actually the least of them, and that's physical. When we talk about physical attractions, physical connections, but when we begin to start talking about social, social is where many of our relationships die. Because one, social media, Instagram, Facebook, even having a person ask me the other day, if a man says that he's in love with a woman, then why is he liking pictures of women that he said he would really never date? The woman that has her body all out and exposing herself. And I asked the question, I said, have you ever been to the mall? And they was like, yeah. Okay, when you was in the mall, did you go through the food court? Yeah, I went to the food court. When you went to the food court, did you see a bunch of people giving out samples to their food? Yeah. Just because you took the sample, did you buy the plate? Point proved. But but social media, social is where many of our relationship dies. One, because men don't respect boundaries and a lot of women don't know how to set them properly. And then the third is going.
You went out. We can't hear you.
I have to let people know. Am I back?
No,
Okay.
you said the third is what? Okay, the third is what? I saw it. Okay, so yes, there are levels to relationships, social and physical. And let's just understand that the physical aspect of relationships really is not even 25%. Like it's probably 10%.
It's really 10.
It's probably 10%
Yeah,
of your
it's
relationship.
10%.
So
And the challenge is, Nick, too, is that when you don't have the 90, the 10 matters more than anything.
mm-hmm.
And the reason why the 10 is so paramount is because we're missing on the social, the intellectual, and the spiritual connections. And if those fill our life, the physical, just saying.
So you're saying social, physical, intellectual, and spiritual are the
Yes, well,
levels?
the order, the levels are physical, which is the smallest level,
Mm-hmm.
then social, then intellectual, and then spiritual. Let me say this. Let me just drop this nugget while we're doing this. I gave an analogy to someone one day, and I said, even when you date, have bird sense. And she said, the person I said, what? Have bird sense? I said, yes. Y'all, let me give you the analogy of how birds select their mates. The first thing a bird is going to do is they're going to fly up in the sky and drop a stick. The suitor has to catch the stick before it hits the ground. That lets the female bird know that at least he's responsible. Then she's going to take a stick the size of a baby bird and take the baby bird stick size, go drop it, and it has to catch it before it hits the ground. That lets her know that if we were to procreate together, that you would be a responsible father to our little birdlings. And the third thing that she does is take the stick, the weight, and the size of her own body weight. She flies high in the sky and drops it. If he catches that stick, then he's able to get levels 1 and 2. What she's saying is, if you can't catch me if I fall, then it doesn't even matter that the other 2 is important. If you can't catch me, and how many women out here are giving the greatest part of themselves to a man that won't catch you if you fall? Yeah, that's the reason why you want baby number 3 with baby daddy number 4. Because 2 of them is impossible. Y'all playing spades out here with this thing. You got 2 in a possible. And so the reality is, if that man can't catch you if you fall, people, hear me, it's a no-go. I understand that you're responsible. I appreciate the fact that you got a job and you go to work. That's beautiful. Thank you that you have your own car and your own keys to your own door. That's beautiful. I appreciate that. If we were to have a child together, it is a good thing to know that I don't have to run you down and take you to child support court every other week to get $5. But the thing is that if you can't catch me if I fall, what good are you in my life every day, in and out, if you can't catch me? Stop dealing with people that can't catch you if you fall.
That, you know what, is that goes back to, you can't catch somebody if you don't even know who you are. So I'm gonna go back to,
You better say that, Nick. Come on.
are you even understanding who you are as a person? Do you understand your makeup? Do you understand you? Are you bringing your authentic self
Ooh, that's
to
good.
the table? So if you can't even start to catch somebody if you don't even know who you are. Um please hear me when I say this. Stop being on social media thinking you know everything about everybody when social media is fake as I don't know what.
You better say it.
People are presenting stuff to you on social media and it's not even true. And y'all are falling for the okie doke and thinking that you getting these dime pieces, these millionaires, these go get it, these, and y'all not even understanding that people put on social media what they want you to see. They are not necessarily putting their authentic selves out there.
That's true.
So when you are trying to build these relationships that you are fostering through social media, please, please, please hear me when I say this. Stop thinking that they telling you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. These people are presenting a package to you that they want you to see. So if you don't even realize who you are and you're presenting a false narrative, why are you expecting somebody else to come to the table not presenting a false narrative? I just needed to say
Wow.
that for a second because I'm not on social media to meet folks, to date folks, I'm on social media to be social.
And even with being social, you better be careful
You
about
better
that
be
too.
careful even being social. Like I had a conversation. I shared this conversation stream with Pat. Um, the question, the post was from
Oh my
Dorian.
God.
I know Dorian, the bearded man, and I love following him because he really does drop some nuggets. And but I'm gonna say this: some of you men are so foolish,
Mm,
and some of you ladies are even more foolish.
mm.
But his post was simply saying that when a man presents gentleness and uses
Mm,
gentleness with the woman he is with,
mm.
that is a real true sign of masculinity. I believe that is true because not everybody is strong enough to be gentle. And Pat, you may disagree with me on this, but I really felt like what he was saying was accurate. Every situation does not cause for the man to be Mr. Protector, Mr. Fix It, Mr. Know It All, Mr. Sometimes your woman just needs you to be there and supportive and gentle with her because some of us women have to maneuver between masculine and feminine all day, every day, all week. So when you come to her with gentleness, that allows her to relax, that allows her to fall back into her feminine space, that allows
Okay.
her to be who she was originally meant to be. And if y'all saw the responses, and Pat can attest to this, because I know you went and checked it out, but you
I
just
did.
down, um, y'all would have thought I had said the sky was red and purple. These folks
Yeah,
have
they was mad with you. Yeah, they was mad with you.
because I simply said when you operate in gentleness, she goes back into her feminine. She goes, I even had people bring my dead fathers into this and tell me that I need to I need a man in my life and I need to go back to my daddy. First of all, both of my daddies were men's and they raised a very cool daughter, if I say so myself.
I agree. I agree.
I
I
am
have to
very well
concur.
adjusted, and I don't need no man in the way that they think a man should operate. They don't even understand that the traditional role of a man is to protect and cover and pray and serve his mate. Like,
Can,
Pat,
can I give you my honest opinion about that?
yeah,
And you're gonna and so you won't think that you're out here alone. And I'm gonna give it to you
yeah.
in two ways. Way number one, I think that it is okay that if the man sometimes is a little spoon. Now, for those of y'all that know about the concept of spooning, it's supposed to always be that the man is the big spoon, which means that in the cuddling position, she's supposed to always be under him. There are times that it is acceptable that that woman takes the position and she holds him. There
Yeah.
has been too much history that have proven that men's lives have been saved by the wisdom of a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and this has been both in our world, in our government, in religion. I ain't got time to go through all of the examples tonight, but there are so many examples that the wisdom of a woman has saved a man. And I think that we miss it when the scripture says, except the strong man be bound, the house can be destroyed or taken. The strong man doesn't necessarily mean the man, it means the strength of the person that has the wisdom to lead the moment. I'm smart enough to know that if my woman knows how to manage money and I can't, baby, here's the check. Watch this. But teach me what you know about money management so that you can trust me to lead in that area so that you don't have to feel afraid that if I'm driving or if I'm navigating the ship that we gonna crash.
And I did actually respond to somebody about that because I said in these various responses that when you are in a relationship with somebody is always going to be, and I didn't even use the word weaker. Someone is always going to have more knowledge than the other person, and
Absolutely.
that's where you balance each other.
It's
So
ebb and flow.
I didn't catch that.
I said it's an ebb and flow. Absolutely.
Ebb and flow. So there are times where I'm going to cover my man, and there are times my man is gonna cover me. That's just the natural state of things. Like that's just how things work out. I would be stuck on stupid if I was always trying to be the head. I ain't trying to be the head. I'm trying to be the help me. And even in being the help me, there are times that I am going to have to be in a position where I say, honey, I think we need to do this because of this, and this is, and he knows that I got it. um,
And
stop.
you need to, and brothers, stand back and let her get it. Ain't no woman finna. I'm the man beating on your chest while the ship is sinking. You better get out the way and let that woman do what because she has expertise in areas that will balance your life if you let her have it.
Mm-hmm. And so this whole notion of, you know, women being operating in masculine energy
Oh my God, I'm so sick of that
and
conversation.
men being feminine. First of all, there is masculine and feminine energy in everyone. And there comes a point in every relationship where he's going to operate in the feminine and you're going to operate in the masculine and vice versa. Like that's just naturally part of life.
Oh, well, let's just go back to the beginning. How many chromosomes did you get from your daddy? How many chromosomes did you get from your mama? Okay. It took it took 46 of them to make you, but it had to balance out. Y'all,
Okay.
it's balance. It's balance.
And
It's balance.
stop thinking that you being gentle means you're feminine. That is not what being gentle means. And I know you read the comments. Give me a
I
comment.
did.
Give me a
I
comment
did.
that stuck out to you.
Whether if I have to be just honest, I am on for the next week. I can't entertain anything that is negative.
Right.
So many of the comments were so negative. I just had to just dismiss them. But this does speak to one thing. This speaks to the fact that we have poor understanding, and this is the reason why our relationships fail,
Yes.
because we really don't understand. Some people don't understand the purpose of a partner.
Mm. Mm.
There's a purpose of a partner. Even the scripture says two together, one. That's how we can say.
You have to understand the purpose of what a partner brings to the table. You have to understand what a partner is to begin with. When you are in a relationship, you are in a relationship with a person for a reason. You chose that person for a reason. You are with that person for a reason.
Y'all,
Um,
please forgive me. I don't know why people keep calling me tonight when they know, and I'm gonna have to start taking this to my laptop instead of my phone, because people call me when they know on Wednesday from 8 to 9. Do not call me. And so every time I get knocked out, there's somebody ringing my phone. Yes.
okay, so go ahead and finish what you were saying. Partnership and partners. So you have to know why did you choose that person in the first place? Why did you want to be in relationship with that person? And then you have to understand that when you are in relationship, you are in partnership. That is your partner. That is the person that you chose. What are the strengths that that person has that attracted you to them in the first place? What are the strengths that you bring to the table that reciprocated an attraction to you? What are the things that, you know, that person adds value to when it's something that you don't necessarily know. You know, you have to understand partnership and being a partner.
I'm back.
Okay. We were talking about partnership because that's where you left off.
Yes. I was saying that a lot of people really don't even know the purpose of having a partner. Um, Even in a lot of relationships, some people aren't looking for partners, they're looking for sponsors.
Mm,
We don't know the purpose of having someone in our life to cover us. This is a real thing, y'all. And the sad thing is, you can't make this up. A lot of people really just don't understand uh, what it means to yield. Oh God, I really didn't want to. I really didn't want to go here. But I'm gonna go on and travel since I got the mic, and I'm gonna go and travel down that road. Even when it comes um, to intimacy, hear this. There are some people that you are driven by ego, but if the person that you're with ever had to do a survey, you might be surprised on all the boxes that you don't check off. And the reason why a lot of us don't check off certain boxes is because we don't even know how, in certain aspects, to just yield.
mm,
I used to teach. A lot of people don't know. It's different. And it's called. There's one that's called swing out, and there's one that's called two step. Now, two stepping and swing out is two different things. And I know how to swing out. And when I mean I can swing out, I can swing out. There is a way that you can control the dance just by simply the way you touch your partner. That's called communication. When I can touch you and communicate a thought and never have to open my mouth. Some of us don't even know intimacy on that level, that you can communicate to your partner without ever opening your mouth.
That's a good question.
Mhm.
You know what this is? It's hard salami snack fry.
Hmm.
okay, so um just on that point, I'm gonna go back to you can't yield to somebody if you don't even understand what and why and how you all came together. And as you start building your relationships, you learn what makes each other tick. You learn um where those strengths and weaknesses are. You learn how to take a cue from the other person.
Come on.
So if you are not investing the time in your relationships that you need to invest, you're not going to ever understand yielding to your partner. And you're not going to understand those nuances that come along with um, nonverbal communication. And you probably don't even understand what effective communication is in the first place. So, yeah, and this is just these
It's just like when I had a somebody asked me once before, Adrian, what's my love language? You know what I told them? All of them.
because at some point all of them are
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
And that's why your love language changes over time, because you may not need acts of service 2 years ago, but now acts of service is important to you. You may not have needed words of affirmation today, but 3 years ago you needed words of affirmation to get you through. Your love language changes based on what your experiences are and where you are as a person.
And sometimes people focus on the individual aspect of a thing just so they can always feel like there's something more. I don't have to do the work with Adrian because Adrian don't do acts of service well, but she does. But I need somebody that knows how to do acts of service. I mean, I need somebody, and you always, because we're always looking for more. But I'm going to tell you something. Y'all, there is nothing wrong with teaching somebody how to love you. I'll say it again. There's nothing wrong with teaching someone how to love. Do you know that a lot of people don't even know their temperaments? You don't even know your own temperaments. And so there, a lot of times we are triggered by things, and it's not even our mate. It is life trying to pull something out of you that says, we got to do more.
Mhm.
We have to grow in this area. We have to develop. We need to do some changing here. We need to work on this. It's a deficit in you that needs to be corrected. But I don't, it doesn't make me feel comfortable. I got to protect my peace. And you don't even know what protecting your peace look like.
I don't know. And I don't know. These conversations this week have really drained me because
And that's why I can't get into them the way that I've been wanting to. That's why I have to dismiss myself from them.
no, and I get that, but I just think as people, we need to do a better job of actually reading and listening before we respond. Some of the responses are so freaking stupid and off base that you're not even responding to what the post was. You're not even responding to what the question was. You're not even responding to what the response was that you're actually responding to. And then you're not even realizing what is the context of what you're responding to. So what I'm going to tell all of you is when you're having these conversations about relationships and things that can make or break relationships and things that go into who you are in a relationship, please kind of sit back and really listen to what the conversation is. Stop just responding because you think you know what the conversation is, because you're responding to things half-assed and you're not even taking into consideration what the real question is and what your real response should be.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
yeah, I've been irritated a lot about some of these conversations. But I'm glad to have the conversations. But just know, don't come with me incorrectly.
Well, Adrian, let me just kind of mention the one conversation that I was telling you about. And we said we was going to definitely bring some light to that.
Yep.
Remember the one that the lady, she posted, and first of all, she put a picture of herself, and the first picture was her in like night clothes, like wearing stuff that you would sleep in. Okay. And then the second picture, she put a picture of her feet. And then the third picture, and just while I'm on that subject, I wish everybody would just stop posting their feet online, because everybody don't have. So some of y'all, and somebody need to ask you what tribe you come from, because your feet don't look like. Okay, just because you put rhinestones on corn don't make it pretty. It's still a corn and a hammer and a bunion and fungus
you made me spit out my Starbucks, right?
And fungus under your nail that you need to go to a doctor and check your liver and get 90-day supply of Lamisil and get that infection out of your toes before you start posting online. But I digress. And then the third picture was her, of course, with a back shot. Then she proceeded to say what she wants from a man. I want a man that's going to bury his face between my behind. I want a man that's going to do this. And she gave like 10 separate things sexual that she wants from a man, and then ended with, and I want a man that is a family man and that knows how to love. Okay, all right. And I don't know the person. It is just somebody just asked me to comment on the post. And so I was like, first of all, let me just ask, and I'm paraphrasing, like, why are you giving men the playbook? The first thing you do, if you're going to ever tell a man what you want or desire, always give things that are character based. Because if you say, I just want somebody to give me flowers, anybody can buy you flowers, then what? Or I just want somebody that will take me to dinner. Anybody can take you to dinner, and that's what. But if you say, I want someone that is thoughtful, now I got to put some thought into what thoughtfulness look like. Now that means I got to do some work, because you gave a character-based requirement. I want a man that initiates, that plans, that do. You put work on me, not just told me what to do and go out and grab a list. So then I started by saying, how will you know? And I said, how will you know when you find said man, when you have 10,000 people liking every post, every 10,000 people liking every picture, you got 1 million guys in your inbox shooting a shot, trying to be the one. And then I said this to her. I said, I will never give a girl wife gifts. 1 second. Y'all, please forgive me. I'm working in domestic capacity tonight.
So on that note, I'm going to say, what you put out there in your social media space, people actually look at your pictures, and that is how they treat you. So if you are posting sexy pics and body pics, and you ain't got nothing on but skin tight clothes, and you don't have, you just keep talking about the materialistic stuff, and your playbook is you want a man to spend $200 on you for dinner, and you want roses every time you go out, that's what you're gonna get. That is exactly how they gonna meet you. And then you're gonna be mad because you didn't get the considerate person, but that was the last thing on your list. Lead with the character, because then they know that the character is what is important. But when you lead with all the materialistic stuff, that's not what's important. You are showing them that what is important to you is somebody who loves your physical traits, not your mind, not your intellect, not your soul, not your spirit. All they care about is your body, because that's all that you are presenting. When I was on dating websites, I said what I wanted in a man was all the character traits.
Yes.
I want a kind man, a loving man, someone who has his own relationship with God.
Yes.
I want a man who is family oriented, a man with a sense of humor. Yeah, do I want 6'5" and athletically built? Sure, but that's not what is extremely important. What's extremely important is the character. Because if you're kind, if you're a man of integrity, if you're honest, if you're hardworking and determined and funny, and we will be able to get through anything with those characteristics. But looks fade. People shrink.
But one of the things that I even challenged her with, Nick, was this, and here's the thing that she didn't understand. I said, you would probably, if you had a man and he saw you doing this, of course he would object to you putting pictures of yourself on the web. I'm like, do you know how many random men got your picture saved in their phone? Mm-hmm. And they're lusting over you? That's an energy.
Yep.
That's an energy that your purpose partner is going to have to pray against. You're going to have somebody that is strong spiritually. That's their foundation. Yep. To pray against all the men that's trying to prey.
Exactly.
Because before you met them, this is what you did. You put yourself out here in this regard, posting yourself, showing your body, putting your things out there. And so now you're trying to understand, why is everybody And just because I do this doesn't mean that I don't. Oh, no, 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 no. You don't want to be taken seriously doing that. You really don't.
And the other thing, like, there was, I don't know if you saw the post in the group that was about would you wear a sexy outfit out with the girls?
Yes, yes.
And my response to that was, when I go out with the girls, I'm looking cute. I don't do sexy when I go out with the girls. I do cute and comfy. That's what I do. Now, if I'm with my man, we gonna be cute, sexy, and all of that, and we probably gonna wear something that he want to see me in. So, but in my mind, the difference is when you're with your man, that requires a different set of clothing, especially depending on where y'all are going. But there are some things that you just don't do, especially when you have a mate. There are certain things you just don't put out there in the atmosphere because you want to be respectful of your mate at all times, not just some of the time.
Well, sexy. A lot of people don't like it, but sexy means sexual.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want nobody to see me in a way that is sexual other than my partner. So if I'm not with my partner, I'm not going to lead with something sexual. I mean, y'all, I know brothers that, they literally start putting on cologne at 7:05 and at 7:22, they still spraying. Like, how many people do you want to smell you? Like, and we don't really know how many things that we're doing to bring attention to ourselves. And so my thing is that we always, and here's another thing that people say, well, I'm just doing it for myself. I'm just trying to feel good about me. Okay, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop lying.
I feel good about myself without
being half naked.
Yeah. And I have outfits that are sexy without even showing stuff. Like, I'm just saying.
Okay, it's some FCC laws against about what I was just getting ready to say. So I'm
just saying, like, there are outfits that are sexy without revealing all you got to the world. And sexiness is about confidence.
Yes, it is.
Sexiness is not just about what you wearing. Ooh, we done talked about a whole bunch of stuff today. And I'm sorry if it didn't roll as flawlessly as we did last week, but people have really ticked me off this week with their unimaginative, unprepared, dumb butt answers. See, I'm trying to clean up my mouth. Because I was.
But I still would say that even what was presented tonight, it was necessary. I don't ever look at anything because, again, conversations with Nick and Pat, y'all, you gonna get this. This is raw. Nick is in the studio, and one day I'm going to have the pleasure of being able to sit in the studio with her, and we're gonna go live together. But y'all, I had to come in. I do some management part-time outside of my corporate job. And tonight I got called in because we have an emergency and there's some stuff going on. And I had to come in and break down some stuff so that we don't get cited by the FDA. So at the end of the day, I'm saying to you, this show it's raw, it's unfiltered, it's natural, it's beautiful. You're going to get the real. We sit and discuss a lot of times, and it's just like a good preacher. I wrote the notes, but I didn't preach half of what I wrote down because sometimes it's just a flow and it just goes into, because the real is this. Y'all, we are really concerned about love and relationships and people being healthy, whole, and happy. Like, it's important that we work on ourselves because there are too many people who is on the roadside of life in ditches waiting on love's tow truck to come and pull you out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And hear me when I say this. I'm not trying to preach relationship and this and that because I'm in a relationship. I genuinely think, regardless to whether you're in a business relationship,
You all?
yeah, I am.
Nick got a bit. Wait a minute. Oh, Nick, is it cute?
Yeah.
Girl, you scratching the back of your neck. What you doing? What you doing? Okay, somebody blushing on air, girl. What you, girl?
Anyways,
I'm gonna do that outro song. Oh.
anyway, I am genuinely wanting people to understand that as you get into your relationship, whether it's romantic, business, or otherwise personal, with your family, friends, coworker, whatever, you have to know yourself first. And knowing yourself means you need to do the work to understand who you are, what makes you tick, and all of that stuff in between, what triggers you, all of that. Then you can be free to roam the relationship journey. And please understand that I'm not telling you, and we're not telling you how your relationship has to be, but we want to provide tools for you to understand what all goes into relationships and thus impact your journey. This whole conversation narrative out here about masculine and feminine energy, y'all, that is a bunch of crock and a bunch of BS. Everybody has masculine and feminine energy. Everybody operates in masculine and feminine energy. Everybody goes between the two. It's called balance. It's called the yin and the yang. It's called light and dark. Like, everybody has masculine and feminine energy. And when you are a grown adult, you are going to operate as needed, when needed, regardless. There are going to be times that you cover and there are going and protect, and there are going to be times you are covered and protected. That's all masculine and feminine energy. And get back into your word and understand what God called for a man to do and a woman to do in a relationship. And then talk to me about masculine and feminine energy and what traditional roles are. Pat, you got anything else to say? Because I'm getting heated all over again.
When you're listen, there is nobody that you're going to meet, especially at the stages that we are in our life, who hasn't been through some type of hurt or trauma. And let me just say this: no doctor comes out of a surgery room with clean scrubs. If you gonna date somebody who has been through the trenches of life, who has been through pain, hurt, because we got this thing that we saying, you got to stop bleeding on people who didn't cut you, then leave people who've been cut alone. Because if my job is to bring, now I'm getting heated. If my job is to bring healing to you, and that's what love is.
Yes, that part.
Come on, 1 Corinthians 13. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not vaunt itself. It doesn't behave itself unseemly. It doesn't seek to have its own way. It does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoice in the truth. Here it goes. It bears all things. It believes all things. It hopes all things. It endures all things. Love never fails.
Never fails. Never.
So the reality is, it's impossible for you to love somebody who's been wounded and not get blood on you. And you can't bleed on people who didn't cut you. Shut up, then leave them alone.
That's right.
Because in order for sometimes for things to be made whole, watch this. When you go into surgery, a doctor has to cut what's healthy to remove what's wounded.
Say that one more time.
When you going into surgery, if my elbow, if a tendon is something in the elbow is broken, well, he's going to have to cut healthy skin, healthy tissue, healthy to get down to where the problem is, to remove the problem. And then the problem, once the problem is removed, the healthy has to take time to remend itself. Love somebody enough to go to the core of their issue and remove it. And then y'all heal together. That's what love does. That's the beauty of relationship. But all this, you can't bleed on people who didn't cut you, and I'm protecting my people. Then leave people alone. Because I've never seen a doctor go into surgery and come out with clean scrubs.
Mm. Okay, see, I ain't got nothing else to say. We'll see y'all next week.
Love y'all.
We'll see y'all next week. Peace.